And I was like, Mama, is this Heidi here? Khalas, am I doing life? She's like, no, there's a lot more for you to discover, for you to be, for you to become, for you to achieve, for you to experience. And I was like, I know that, I feel it, you know. Hassan and Mama Hassan were the closest best friends back in the day, the teenage life, that I used to tell her everything, dear futuristic, that when I tell my friends, they look at me and they go like, are you stupid?
This is the One Day Podcast. My name is Omar Almajali, and each week I am bringing you some of the most accomplished and inspiring minds in the Middle East and the world to give you a glimpse of their professional life and pull back the curtain a bit on the real and untold story of their success, to inspire you and help you learn from those who have walked the walk so you could move one day closer to your own goals. Hope you enjoy this episode. So hey everyone, and welcome back to the One Day Podcast. Always a pleasure to have you here. With us today is a jack of all trades, Mr. Hassan Sheikh. Hassan, for those who don't know, he's a radio and a TV personality. He's a social media influencer, a content creator. And on top of all that, he's a tech enthusiast, and he's been a managing partner at an IT services company for over 15 years now. He also DJ'd at some point in his life. So there's a lot going on, and I think we're going to get to the bottom of it. But welcome, Hassan.
Welcome, sir. Thank you so much for having me.
Great.
I'm so proud of you. I did a little bit of stalking, aka research, on your
LinkedIn.
On your LinkedIn account. Love your journey. I love what you do. I love your background professionally. Man. I didn't do some social media stalking, honestly, because I'm interested in the professional journey of people.
Yeah.
هناك بيبين كتير whether the person عارفان وين رايح, you know exactly what you want, a path, مش career rather than a path, you know, a little bit of interest. With social media عادة بتكون that highlights, it's a platform that highlights the fake.
Of course, the propaganda.
Look at me from this angle, only from this frame. That's about it. Not the rest of you spend 8 hours at Deloitte. You don't spend 8 hours taking a picture on social media. So,
yeah. Deloitte actually was my previous job, and then now I moved with Smart Dubai. Smart Dubai government. But nonetheless, yeah, I agreed. I wish I could say that I have my path figured out.
I promise you, like I'm a bit older than you, probably double your age. Habibi, nobody on earth got the shit figured out. You think you figure things out. Every 10 minutes, there is a new update to life. There is a new discovery. There is a new perspective that you look at things and you go like, I thought for the past 30 years of my life, I figured it out. And I think I was doing the right thing.
And we discussed how everyone has different views, but everyone to some extent has to walk down their own path to learn. But yes, there are some tips out there that's been given to us to figure the path out, whether personally, professionally, spiritually, whatever it is. Eventually, it really boils down to people that are going to have to walk that walk and figure things on their own. Or ينخبطوا الكف إذا they weren't, conscious enough of or if they did not educate themselves enough or sufficiently to make the right decisions. Typically, I like to kick off the conversations because I'm super curious about how different people respond to this. But did you ever think that one day you'd be where you are? And by I mean where you are, you could, Hassan, personally, professionally, whether I'm talking about success, the exposure, the experience you've been on so far, did you ever see that coming?
In details? No. Overall, yes. There was always a calling. I still remember it as clear as yesterday. I was plus minus 16 years old, telling my mama I was doing some karate or whatever. And I was like, Mama, is this Heidi here? Khalas, am I doing life? She's like, no, there's a lot more for you to discover, for you to be, for you to become, for you to achieve, for you to experience. And I was like, I know that, I feel it. Hassan and Mama Hassan were the closest best friends back in the day, the teenage life, that I used to tell her everything, dear futuristic, that when I tell my friends, they look at me and they go like, are you stupid? Are you an alien? Man, let's go hunt, let's go get some chicks, let's go smoke, let's go play, let's go drink, let's go do whatever. And I was like, la, there's so much more to life. مش عم بقول لك انه ما عملت، مش عم بقول لك انه I did not fall in the trap of peer pressure and all the stupid things that non-conscious people do. But I was always هيك في comfort inside of me knowing that the path and tomorrow the path is clear to a person who's zoomed out. مش أنا as a character. The path is clear to a person who's zoomed out, and tomorrow will always be a better day, which is the slogan of most of my YouTube videos and podcasts. Tomorrow is a better day, and بالإنجليزي وبالعربي بكرة أحلى. How did I come with that? I don't know. صراحة I don't know. بيجيك like when you're tapped into whatever you're doing in life passionately, you start attracting anything that services where you're going without you even having to know where you're going.
I agree. And so what do you mean by zoomed out? As in like you always are, you're looking at things from a higher perspective?
The ultimate zoom out for me, it's going to take a dark turn all of a sudden. The ultimate zoom out for me is I'm going to die. Ta-da! Everything's going to end. Ta-da! And then that would give you a reality check all of a sudden. Is this worth it if you're going to die in 10 minutes? Like directly, you would stop micro-focusing on the little details and oh my God, my microphone is not working and I have to record. No. Relax. Oh my God, I'm failing my exam. Oh, relax. Ultimate zoom out, you're going to die. Second zoom out, if you're team Allah got your back, bro. Allah got your back. انت اعمل اللي عليك. Do the best you can do now with the best tools you have now that you can afford now and leave the rest.
Yeah.
The rest is not yours.
Yes.
I got inspired by a TikTok video that explained or completed a theory of mine that I came up with back in 2007. I was living in a cancer hospital in Thailand. I went on a what do you call it, cancer treatment journey with my father.
Oh wow!
Alhamdulillah, things are fine. Alhamdulillah, things are fine. So technically speaking, we lived in a cancer hospital. يعني مش outside, no, in the cancer hospital. كان في in-house hotel. So we stayed there. And I got to experience everybody from minor cancer to super advanced stages and people who are here today and not here after 10 minutes, all sorts of people from all nationalities and all religions and. So long story short, I came up with a theory of, it clicked with me in how people are attached to things or attached to human beings or attached to careers or XYZ, whatever it is. So I needed something to define the relationship between me as an individual, as one, and another one, which could be a human being, a thing, a service, an activity. So I created a box. This box has a journey. This journey called live, love, learn, and leave. So technically speaking, whatever you do in life, you actually live it. For you to love it. Love does not mean only I love you. No. Love as in like the emotion of that particular experience, whether love, hate, indifference, whatever it is, the emotional experience. And then there's the learn, which is the rational, the logical, the thinking, the 1 + 1 = 2 kind of thing. And then you have to leave at a point of time, which is 2 minutes ago we said, zoom out, death. You will leave whether you like it or not. So whether you get to choose to leave that person, that experience, that career, that education, that cigarette, that drink, whatever it is, you choose to leave or you're going to leave forcefully. So this defines our journey throughout life and our journey with anything. Yani Omar had a PMO course a few years ago. He lived it. He had an emotion towards it. He had some rational, logic, thinking about it, and he had to leave. Leave مش ضروري leave as in dump it to move. لا. Leave could be evolve.
Yeah.
Leave as in like
transcend to the next level.
Hey, I finished this and I moved on. طيب. This rectangle has, the square has a missing aspect to it, which is when يعني when do I leave? When do I learn? When do I love? When do I live it? هون بيجي zoom out, which is who has access to time? The creator of time. So when you zoom out and you see that Omar does not know what's going to happen to him in the coming 10, 15 minutes, but the person who created this video knows what's going to happen in the coming 10 minutes. Enjoy the movie. Enjoy being part of this movie.
Yeah.
Enjoy living, enjoy loving, enjoy learning, enjoy leaving. Do not cling to any of those four. ساعتها you'll be in flow, in sync with time, which you don't have control over.
I love what you said, because I am a huge believer in the power of surrendering. It's a release of energy that allows you to not focus on the micro a lot. But how do you balance out, if you want, the act of surrendering to the plan, because Allah, or regardless of what people believe in, they have their back. Like, how do you balance the surrender versus the intention, and you being intentional in your life and in your actions, and you setting a plan for yourself? ما إذا كل شيء خلاص surrender, then why am I even waking up in the morning and creating a goal for myself or aspiring?
Because you're asked to. Because this is your purpose. Because you have to. Because you're designed to do that. Because this is part of your on-earth test. Because by design, you're designed to have a purpose, to find the purpose, to walk a journey, and to be as good as possible.
I was going to ask you that. So do you believe that every single human being in this lifetime has a purpose on earth?
What do you think?
I mean,
في عندك some paperweights?
honestly,
Humans that are completely useless?
No, I mean, the other day I was having a conversation with Rahal Muharrag. She's the youngest Arab female who climbed Mount Everest. We had a discussion around, is it a fact, or, I mean, does she believe that people have purpose on earth, or every single human being? Because I think there's a lot of weight that comes with the word purpose. When you talk about purpose, people think that you have this big goal, or you have to achieve this thing, or you have to unlock these layers of yourself. But there are these people who are so mediocre in their lifestyle, and they're so happy, and they're living such a normal, mundane life, and to them that's their purpose.
That's a purpose.
So that's the purpose.
Who sets the purpose? Me? You? Mark Zuckerberg? Jeff Bezos? The media? Hell no. في last Ramadan, not this one, the one before, كان في a program على أبو ظبي تي في اسمه غيث, اللي هو يا رب نسيت, I forgot the exact name. هو غيث اللي بيعمل البروجرام, which is he helps people all around the world, different nationalities, different ethnicities, different whatever, without showing his face. نسيت اسم البروجرام. كتير مشهور البروجرام, كتير مشهور. At a certain point in the program, one particular story got picked up massively by social media, which is طبيب الغلابة, a doctor who graduated a bazillion years ago. He is 1,003 years old. Allah yarham. He found his purpose mid-50s, mid-60s, to service الغلابة. Any hospital checkup in the area costs you 500. At his hospital costs you 5 guineas. And if you don't have money, don't pay. That's his purpose. The guy came to him وقال له, I will build you a hospital. He said no. قال له طيب هيدي السماعة الطبية, تفضل هدية. قال له thank you. I will take this as a gift. That's it. I will build you a hospital. He said no. That's not my purpose. My purpose is to service the poor who cannot afford حب الدواء. My purpose, man, بيجي من الفجر للنجر, من 6 الصبح لل1000 بالليل, helping poor people, give them access to proper health care. That's his purpose.
Well, that's an incredible purpose.
Your purpose should not be only كل الpurpose تبعنا, which is what is portrayed on social media. Hell no, this is poison. This is not a purpose. Yeah, it shares the same letter, P, but في فرق بين هي وهي. How do you connect with your purpose? Your purpose should not be, I want to be like Omar. No. Omar should be a spark for you to go find your purpose. Hassan, I can't find my purpose. Easy. That's the easiest thing ever. If you don't have a purpose, your purpose is to find your purpose. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, it's a catch-22, I think.
At a certain point of time, Habibi, your purpose is to find the purpose, and it is amazing.
What is your purpose? What is now that you have probably established a solid level of knowing who you are? What is Hassan al-Sheikh's purpose today?
Same as I was 16 years old. I'm a mirror. And in all cultures, a mirror is a passage. Some see it as a passage to hell, a door to hell, a door to a different universe. Some see it as the true reflection of who you truly are. Some see it a passage to the good. حسب الculture that you look at it. But for me, I'm very comfortable being a mirror. As in, let's sit, let's talk. And I promise you, I won't come light. I promise you, you're gonna have extreme emotions because it's gonna stir something in you that will make you think. I promise you that there will be a seed planted by yourself, in yourself, that will grow to something else later on in the future. Because this is the whole job of a mirror. It doesn't do anything. It just shows you. It just shows you through you. It's not a mirror that you look at it and you think something else and you have a different perspective, distortions or illusions. No. A mirror shows you the truth. What you see is something completely personal. The mirror reflects the truth. What you see is based on a 600 billion variable in your brain. This is what I enjoy doing in life since I was 15, 16 years old.
And how does that manifest? Like, how does that manifest as a career or in your conversations or in whatever you're doing? How are you acting as a mirror to people? How are you being that reflection of their own internal system to them?
Conversations. Okay, what do you enjoy doing in life? You slept, woke up, you have 50 million Bitcoins in your account. Now Bitcoin is going low. 50 million Dogecoin, unlimited supply of money. You wake up the second day. شلي بابا وماما من الفورمولا، شلي أعمال الخير من الفورمولا، شلي invest من الفورمولا. What would Omar Almajali do being a gazillionaire second day in the morning? You tell me.
I'm super into film. So anything in the film industry is something that I'm passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
Everything like from film, directing, acting, just the whole creative process of film is something that I find passionate.
Why aren't you doing it?
I'm doing it. A bit of it. I'm dabbling with it. I'm dabbling with it on the side. I really am. I've been exploring it aggressively over the past 2 years.
When did you discover that this is what you want?
I've always known that this is what I want, but I never had the guts to pursue it because I was a product of society and family expectations, and the path that I took in life was different from honestly what I want. I realized, at some point in my career.
You shocked me now.
Why?
Because Anna, at the beginning of this podcast, I said that I stalked your research, your LinkedIn, and I found a person with a path. Now your path is completely different.
That's why I told you I'd be lying to you. I told you I have my path figured out. But I was going to get to it. That's one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about. I don't believe in boxing yourself in one thing. I can't tell you that I'm one thing explicitly, and that's it. You can be a spectrum of things. I mean, look at you, right? You're into media, tech, music. Which of those do you consider yourself to be? Which of those is Hassan al-Sheikh mostly?
Not one.
Right?
But not two.
Is it all of them?
I am all of them.
Exactly.
You are all of them. We are all of them.
100%.
هيدا البوxing system that was enforced علينا just 200 years ago. And before that, you were allowed to be a bazillion and three things. And actually, you were expected to be a bazillion things: a carpenter and a builder and a fixer and a painter and an artist and a lover and a bazillion things back in the day. But just shy of 200 years ago, لا, you're just supposed to be one. ما علينا this story. هلا, how did you figure out that this is what you want?
You know, ever since I was a kid, I was in theater. I was I'd always find myself watching behind the scenes of movies on YouTube and stuff like that. It's always been like a thing, a tick inside of me. So that was kind of my clue.
Why did you wait 26 years for you to dabble with it?
I wasn't bold enough. I wasn't confident enough. Scared of obviously letting your family down and stuff like that. You go to college. I studied finance and economics, and because listen, I mean, at that particular phase in my life, I don't think my brain and my level of consciousness was developed enough for me to figure out that that route is not for me, but it was kind of implied for me. مع إنه أهلي are very hands off. يعني ما عمره لا أمي ولا أبوي قالوا لي what I should get into. But I thought that this is the route that would make them proud. So I got into it. But then I realized, like, what the heck am I doing? I'm not going to waste my time in a very long corporate career if that's not what I'm super passionate about. فبلش this process of uncovering the past few years. It's a journey.
Are you happy?
Right now, I'm happy about yes, I'm happy that I am that I'm starting to uncover these layers. Yes.
Would you like more time to spend more with your lover, aka film production?
Of course, 100%.
And why aren't you finding more time?
I'm carving enough time for now. But eventually, I will make sufficient time to answer your question. But you're right.
What are you waiting for?
I am waiting for. I know there's never the right time for you to just jump, but I am someone who's risk averse. I'm not a risk taker. So if I were to jump into this whole world of unknown and creative industry, things have to be in place شوي. يعني لازم أخذ calculated risks. So I'm waiting for a few things to line up before I make this jump.
أعطيني solid answer. What are you waiting for?
Honestly, I'm waiting for
money.
Financial
return? Fame?
No, أكيد لا. وين fame? There's no doubt about the fact that إذا أنا هلا I'm gonna jump into this world, okay, I can't guarantee that I'm gonna have my family's support. So I'm not gonna have the financial security to pursue it aggressively, right?
Why are you still attached to your family?
I'm not. But I'm saying
you just said
I'm attached to my job. Yeah, I'm saying no, because right now I'm in a job, right, that pays the bill. And I've got my own income. I'm independent from my family. But if I were to jump into a world of unknown, especially artistry, man, you have to be realistic. It does not pay the bill. You need to be realistic about the jumps that you take, the risks that you take. They need to be calculated. At least from my perspective, that's how I see it. I don't want to بس فجأة أصير a desperate, artist who's looking for the next gig, and I'm hustling for gigs and projects and money, and I have the
money is your motive, not passion.
No, money is a means to an end to me. Money is a tool. Money is a tool that allows.
And if you don't have that tool, you won't create.
No, it's just gonna be a path of resistance. And yes, you could say that I am trying to take the path of least resistance by taking these calculated risks. At least, listen, save enough. For me, أعرف إني أنا, if I'm making this jump, then I have some money that to secure myself. I can ما بقدر ما أروح عند أهلي or go to my parents and ask them for money and tell them, listen, please fund my passion project on my new passion career.
Okay.
بدك شوي this financial cushion to allow you to make these bold decisions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another question. You're مطلع. You know a story or two about successful people. Do you know a story, just one story about a person who made it without risk? One success story without hassle, without hassle and hustle, without pain and misery and bankruptcy and I borrow money for me to buy a can of tuna. Do you know one story?
I agree. No, 100%. A lot of these stories, they do have this overarching theme of of taking risks. But sometimes I feel like sometimes مش دائما this risk theme is romanticized. Why do I have to take this big risk if I can take a smaller risk?
Because you're not giving it your all. Success comes when you give it your all. Success comes out of commitment. And you were committed to finance and economics for the past 28 years of your life, and the reward is Shara Sheikh Zayed house. MashaAllah.
DIFC, but
DIFC. يعني. Okay.
accurate.
A different angle.
Yeah, I mean, yes, Sheikh Zayed is right there.
Hey, DIFC, even better, bro, even better. For 28 years of commitment got you where you're at right now. ما شاء الله. الله يا رب الله يزيدك ويبارك يا رب.
حبيبي,
إن شاء الله تفتح خزانة تلاقي فيها عند supplies of رزق حلال. بس 28 years of hard work. يعني plus or minus let's say 10 years of هيدا ever since high school and onwards. So 10 years got you here.
Yeah.
Of hardcore commitment of economics or finance. You think with giving arts and or your passion half an hour a day or 1 hour a day, how many years is going to take you?
صح. I see this perspective. Trust me, I see it.
When you see this video, you're going to see something that I tell everybody. Zoom in على your eyes, which they don't lie. لما عمر حكى عن cinematography or production, see the joy that his spirit inside of his eye doing the hula hula dance. And oh my God, we're gonna be set free. And then also zoom in لما كنت تحكي عن الفاينانس والeconomics وهيدا. You like it, no problem. I'm not saying you hate it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm not passionate about it.
Check out the difference of energy.
Of course, and
unbelievable.
لا, I recognize that. I do. شوف, honestly, I've been thinking about it a lot. وبتعرف مرات a lot of هدول people who eventually reach, the success from nothing. And sometimes I feel like it's as hard for you to start from nothing. And like when you have nothing and your back is against the wall and you're fighting the fight to reach where you want. And I feel like sometimes it's as hard. This scenario is as hard as when you have something that you might lose in the process. There's a lot of, and if I were to make this jump, there's a lot of insecurity that I'm going to invite to my life. I do agree. The payoff might be so worth it.
And your life is secure?
That's an illusion. بس ما حنحكي عن الموضوع هلا. I mean,
your life is secure?
To some extent, there's some structure to my life. Yeah. I've got my day job. I've got my passion projects that I'm pursuing after my day job. عندي حياتي هون بدبي, and so not secure, but I would say في structure لحياتي. So if I were to make this jump, I'm gonna have to shake it all up.
You would pursue a career in your passion if the finances are secure, which is the obstacle that everybody's facing. So technically speaking, currently, would you do some keeping your job and keeping your finances and keeping your comfort zone, aka your structure, intact? Would you do creative projects currently for free?
Yes.
Would you stay up all night long to do them?
I would, to some extent, up to a certain point, I would, for experience and exposure. Why not?
So technically speaking, you would do all of that for free. You're not expecting any reward.
طبعا لا.
Why are you doing it?
قصدك what?
The passion projects, the things that make your heart
those
move.
I would do for free. إذا هلا مثلا في حد قال لي there's a film project and we want you to be a part of it, ولا حتى I expect any dime from it, and I would invest a lot of time into it. I would be willing. I would be willing to do that.
That's why I do what I do.
Yeah, exactly. But أنا قصدي, my point is, I just have to. Maybe that's because how my brain is structured. Maybe I like to see things and frameworks and processes, and I know life is unstructured. But to me, حتى there's a book called When to Jump, and it's literally, I don't know if you heard about it. It's such a cool book.
Heard
It's
about it,
all
never read it yet.
It's all about these short stories of people who made jumps in their careers, big jumps in their life or professional careers, whether internally within the organization or externally, whatever. وبقولوا لك يعني it all talks about, you know, there's never the right time for you to make a jump, and I get that. And I'm not saying I'm not going to take the risk. I'm saying when I take the risk, I would want it to be a minimized risk if possible versus a maximized risk. Why don't I jump into this world when I feel like I have the savings to do so versus jumping into it, not having the savings to do so, and حتى يكون في a potential in it, I might go to my family for financial support. That's not even an option for me. خلاص, I've established independence from my parents for a long time. That is out of the question for me.
Yeah, I feel you, yeah. Okay, that's your way of doing things.
But you are, يعني, you've obviously triggered something in me, because I know. I know what I hear you and I know what you're saying.
See, a mirror shows you what you know. I don't add anything new. I show you what you know. That's Agreed. It. What you know is different than what she knows. It's different than what he knows. It's different. Everybody has a different journey. هيدي الجيرني اللي حكينا عنها بالبداية. Everybody has a different journey. Everybody has a different path. The path of self-discovery, for you to find that spark and for you to continue in that spark. Guess what? You might not end up in film at all whatsoever. Yet the journey towards what you thought, and no, this is my spark, this is my calling, will definitely put you where you should be at the age of 30, 40, 50, 60 on your deathbed.
That I agree with.
Heidi, when you are in the flow, you will reach where you're supposed to reach. But when you're عم تسبح عكس التيار, when you're like fighting everything and everybody, you will end up somewhere else, bro.
Agreed. And listen, we talked about the fact that يعني, if you have a purpose, or people always have to go out there, be bold, and to pursue whatever they want to pursue. And yes, you mentioned that, or we kind of touched on it, a prerequisite to that is the fact that you need to know who you are. وبرضو انت كمان حكيت قبل شوي انه people, honestly, like I look around me and I feel like sometimes a lot of people are just living this zombie life, this unconscious life, because they are just super conditioned, super programmed, and they're the product of media, you know, societal expectations, family. People don't know who they are. How, from your perspective, maybe from your experience, how can someone, first of all, what do you mean by get to know who you are, and what's the process? Okay, so I want to get to know who I am. Like, where do I start?
Okay, I need to preface this be some few questions. The overall flow of energy. So when I stay quiet, ears will start working better. Nose will start working better. Eyes will start working better. Sadhguru, do you know Sadhguru?
Yeah.
Sadhguru. I agree with a lot of things he says, but I don't also agree with some of his directions. Sadhguru جابها بطريقة كتير حلوة إنه you have 2 ears,
yeah,
2 eyes,
use them proportionally,
1 mouth. So 1 mouth. So you need to listen more.
Yeah,
you need to see more. You need to sense more for you to be able to receive messages. How do you do that? It's not about me. I need to shut up. I need to stay quiet. When I know how to shut up, when I know how to not react, and before COVID days, I used to do those workshops, micro workshops, 10, 20, 30 people maximum. بالmeditation section, which is not your typical meditation, it's there. بالbreathing exercise, I won't call it meditation. بالbreathing exercise, I ask my friends to just stay quiet. Just stay quiet and do nothing but breathe. Whatever comes to your mind, postpone it. Whatever comes to your body, postpone it and just breathe. 5 minutes. I just want you to close your eyes. Inhale. Exhale. That's it. And I film it. Bro, يعني out of 30 people بتلاقي 2 know how to do this. The rest are either playing with her hair, itching his knee, fixing her shoe. Shut up. Stop
it's not
responding.
easy.
أيوة, it's not at all. It's not at all.
يعني by the way, I'm super passionate about meditation. I've been meditating for 2 years, 3 years now, maybe. All my friends know that about me. But listen, it took me almost 2 years to be able to sit in silence for more than 20 or 30 minutes. It's not easy because your body is animalistic. يعني. It's you gotta do everything and anything to not have you sit with yourself. As counterintuitive as it sounds.
Do you read books?
I do a lot.
Okay. Have you read Stealing Fire?
No.
Okay, read Stealing Fire.
ثاني, is this the performance guy? The performance expert guy?
Seth, شو اسمه?
He's the guy who ultimate performance عنده like these books that صح about how to be in the state of flow وهيك أشياء. I heard him on a podcast, but no, I've never read his book.
Stealing Fire by Stephen Kotler.
Yes.
I always say Seth in my interviews. Stealing Fire بحكي عن the whole spectrum of how to get into the flow. ببلشها بالdrugs and how to be a top best 100 companies CEO, the amount of pressure, blah 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 blah. بيجي بتطرق لعدة أمور إنه how to tap into the flow. في عندك the chemical route, في عندك raving route, في عندك meditation route, في عندك prayer route, في عندك blah 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 blah. هلا كل هدول لهم side effects. Everything and their mother has a side effect, except one thing, which is the slowest of them all: prayer. Prayer takes you 30 years of practice for you to be able to tap into the flow on demand. 30 years of practice for you to tap into the flow on demand. So technically speaking, شوف الكوينسيدنس. بيقول لك علموهم الصلاة بعمر 10 plus 30, that's 40 سن الحكمة, the wisdom years of a human being. So عندك 30 years of practice for you to achieve the ultimate guru level of I'm the flow master, rather than depending on XYZ practices and or substances that will have side effects. So انت التولز موجودين امامك. يعني you want the short way, a shortcut, this is the method, these are the consequences. You want the right method, this is the the other method, this is the method, this is the way, these are the tools, this is the consequences, this is how long it takes. Warren Buffett بيقولوا له Warren Buffett انه if your investment strategy is too simple, why aren't people following it? بيقول لك nobody wants to get rich slow. يعني imagine a book title, Get Rich Slow. ما في حدا بيبيع books Get Rich Slow. Yet the most successful formula is the Get Rich Slow formula.
طبعا ما في
الباقي كلياته super high risk, extremely high risk. Every single book, Get Rich Fast, how to make $70,000 in 2 weekends and stuff like that. وبيقول لك كمان how to increase your focus in 2.5 seconds. خد الحبة. طب بس ما حدا بيقول لك إنه this one might fuck up your liver and you might be paralyzed for the rest of your life and you might be drug dependent for the rest of your life. And nobody tells you that. Why? Because I want the money from you and I want you to be an addict for whatever material I give you, whether it's meditation, whether it's yoga, whether it's pills, whether it's chemical substances under the umbrella of prescribed medication approved by the XYZ ministry, whatever.
So what you're saying is essentially there is no quick and easy way for people to start this journey of finding who they are. Whether it's through meditation, they have to do the work. There's something called the messy middle, and people have to go through this messy middle to at least start figuring themselves out on the other side. So that's essentially what you're saying. We're addicted to the quick fixes, to cutting corners. The best, we got to do the work. That's essentially.
I watched one of your episodes. عملتها مع the Swiss guy who invented
Property Finder.
Property Finder.
Michael Layani.
Just remind me how many years it took him for the project to succeed?
Yeah, it took him more than 15 years.
15 years for him to be property finder as we know it.
Yeah.
Property finder is huge in this part of the world.
It is.
The شو كان اسمه تبع سوق.com. It took him also 15 years. Ronaldo مشحور. It took him 15 years and he was knocking the door of bankruptcy every freaking month. 15 years of stress and hard work. I know people that worked inside, man. And 15 years of sleepless nights for him to sell it to Amazon for $650, $700 million.
Pays off. Pays off big time.
ليك حبيبي, hard work and commitment pays off at the end. بس انت at the end of the day you need to start. هيدول يا جماعة instant gratification, instant result, instant thing has bad consequences. هيدي الحبة اللي بتاخدها انت for you to increase your level of concentration is called dinosaur fucking dung. Period. End of discussion. No side effect comes from natural substances. Bull. Shut up and focus. Exercise the focus. Don't exercise the distraction. A lot of us are exercising the distraction. Our watches remind us to check the notification all the freaking time. The dings and the dongs and the I close Twitter for me to open Instagram, for me to close Instagram, for me to open TikTok, for me to go like, okay, it's just a 2-minute quick bathroom break to check out my TikTok. I'm exercising nothing but distraction. Anna, for me, this is the pure addiction. And I'm starting at the age of 13.
Speaking of distraction, by the way, I always like to ask this question to my guests, again, because I'm always interested in the different answers I get. For you, if you want to get into the zone, there's a project that you want to finish, there's something that you want to get the creative juices flowing, whatever it is, Hassan has to accomplish something. What is your tool or ritual or habit that gets you focused and zoned in?
Genius question. بدك before the kid or after the kid?
whatever has or is working best for you.
Okay,
it has to be one thing.
لا, it can never be with the kid. Never ever be one thing, man. With a child, never ever be one thing at all whatsoever.
Okay.
Like on the thing with the kid, عفوا, it has to be on demand. يعني I don't have the luxury of going into a zone for me to achieve and for me to get into the no. With a kid, oh my god, he slept, let me finish those 700 emails I have, well this consultancy strategy that I have for XYZ, blah blah blah. هيك panic mode. Commitment, التزام, that's it. With the kid. هلا prior to the kid 100% التزام, but كمان في عندك the habit of it. يعني my schedule قبل my kid, قبل my child, was I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh wow.
I do
good for you.
Yeah, I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I start work at 7. So technically speaking, I'm at the studio by 6. عندك من 4 لل 6 spirituality.
Cool, I love that.
A little bit of house exercises and learning something new. I have to learn something new every day. Every day, every day.
Have you heard of the 20-20-20 formula?
Of course.
Yeah.
وعندك at 6 o'clock, I go to the studio before anybody else, put on my earpods. I walk for 45 minutes, 50 minutes. I click my 8,000 steps every day, listening to an audiobook or a podcast. In the building, بالفلور تبعي, walking, listening to a podcast. I kickstart my day. I clicked my 8,000 steps. I learned something new. I finished my spiritual healing teachings, and I did my exercises, and I did my learning. I did everything. خلاص. يعني by the time I finish my radio show, I have 20 hours to waste.
I love that. I respect that. And that's something that also has been life-changing in my personal life, waking up at 5 a.m. Inspired by the 2020 formula I was talking about. For those who are listening, it's a book called The 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma. He talks about the 20-20-20 success formula, the fact that, wake up early, gain this extra hour during the day, and spend the first hour exercising, learning something new, and do a mindfulness practice, whether it's praying, meditating, sitting with yourself, journaling. And I've been doing that, and it's been transformational. So I love that what you said. So you can't do that today with the kid? اختلف الموضوع شوي.
Good luck حبيبي, good luck breathing at night. يعني a lot of times we live in a one bedroom, so technically speaking, and since my wife is pregnant, she sleeps in a room by herself. Thank you, حبيبي. She sleeps in a room by herself because if the child wakes up in the middle of the night and mama takes care of him, my wife is she can't sleep early and she can't sleep on demand. And for me, I don't care. I put my head on the pillow, I go into La La Land. My kid and we sleep in a separate room. So I wake up a couple of times عليه بالليل. We don't want to distract Nina. So when I wake up مثلا 4 o'clock in the morning randomly, هلا with the kid I'm waking up at 5:15 every day. مش إنه كتير مضحى, بس I don't make sounds because my kid loves technology. The second he hears a mouse click مثلا or إنه laptop, إذا اللابتوب طبعت عليه, he will be like, what is happening without me? Give me some screen light. بقعد أنا ب my chair and I open my Kindle, my iBooks, and I start reading. I read my Quran, I read my Kindle. I try to take in as much as possible until he wakes up. خلاص, the second he wakes up, it's the day and the time is no longer yours.
بالمية, man. Congrats on your second baby on the way and on having a kid. We talked about it briefly before we started. We're coming to the end of the conversation, and Hassan, by the way, I typically like to end my episodes with 3 rapid fire questions that I like to ask my guests. The whole point is not for you to overthink it. Just say whatever comes, from the heart when you hear the question. Obviously there's a lot more that I wanted to explore with you in terms of topics, but عادي, we can always do a session number 2 at some point in the future. Definitely. First question is, what piece of advice would you give your younger self, an 18-year-old Hassan?
I asked this on my podcast as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, definitely.
No way.
Yeah. What if they invented the time machine and you go back to the age of 16, of Omar at the age of 16, what would you tell Omar at the age of 16?
Yes, what advice would you give your younger self?
Yo, bro, tomorrow is a better day. And ما تغلط الأغلاط المكتوبة. Do not test what's written. Don't test what's there are plenty of new mistakes for you to discover. Don't do the mistakes that are written in stone, written by the creator. اخترع لك شغلات جديدة. It's exactly like a person reinventing the wheel and going like, my results are going to be different. You're a fucking idiot, man. You're like banging your head against the wall and expecting the wall to get hurt. لا أنا غير وقصتي غير. Come on, man. We're all the same. Tomorrow is a better day. No matter how hard it is today, and no matter how things are going, مثل ما أنت قلت تقول بالبداية إنه كف لازم يصحيك من النوم. No matter how life is pressuring you, it's preparing you for the next phase of the game, of the movie.
I'm a huge believer in that. The second question is, what tip or hack would you give anyone? So we talked a lot about people going after what they want. So what tip or hack or whatever it is, piece of advice that you can give someone right now who has this dream, passion project, they want to pursue it. What is your advice to get them, even if it's to get them one day closer to that?
Read. Educate yourself. Always, you have to keep learning. هيدي قصة education تعيد المدرسة, and then after school you go to college or university or whatever and you pursue higher education, bull, dinosaur, whatever. That's something systematic. Forget about it. Focus on you learning, focus on you reading, focus on you educating yourself, focus on the things that will make you a better human being بالشغلات اللي أنت بتحبها. Choose what you read. And for you to be able to know what to read, do a little bit of research. And kids nowadays, they will ask me a bazillion questions. They know أنا my قبيلة, at least they know. I tell them all the time, read. For the common question is like, Hassan, can you recommend books? I don't know what to read. إيش اللي I don't know what to read, man? What are you interested in? Google it. Google best books in gardening, يا أخي. Best books in whatever. Best books in how to make the best sushi in the house. Whatever you're into, Google it. هن بيطلع لهم حبة You get a pimple on your neck, you Google it. You don't know how to Google something, food for your brain? Google it, what to read, how to read, شغلات مثل هيك. And then there's the art of reading, and then there's the art of learning. يعني في a lot of directions حتى بالuniversities nowadays اللي هي the art of learning how to learn. There are some also techniques to learn how to learn. They teach you how to learn the ultimate way.
Jim Quick,
Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, هدول الجماعة, they eat books for breakfast. They eat books, but definitely they don't read the same way you and I read. They handle certain techniques. They take notes, they write remarks and stuff like that for them to
learn better, consume better.
Learn better and be time efficient. يعني أنا in a week I finish one book. Bill Gates finished 3. How? He has more time. No, he doesn't have more time. He reads less time than I do. But his efficiency بالreading أعلى مني. Why? Because he practiced how to master it.
There's a guy called Jim Quick. I don't know. Probably, you know, he teaches how to learn, which is cool.
Did you read Limitless?
I have not, صراحة. I have not, but I just know of him. I follow him on Instagram, but I haven't read any of his stuff. Eh?
Don't.
Okay.
Don't read Limitless.
اختصرت علي one book. Okay. Fair. Thanks for the peer review. يعني. It was on my to read list. Was my to read list is very long.
It's an easy read, man. One day.
Maybe I listen to books هلا صرت. It's easier for me to consume books. I listen while I'm at the gym الصبح. Because I'm a slow reader.
I'm a slow reader too. I'm a very slow reader. Do you listen consciously?
I listen consciously and I take notes. Come on.
Bravo.
I'm like a Google Doc. I have like the Google Doc with.
Bravo. That's the right way. Books. You know, I used to consume a lot of books. With zero knowledge out of the book. خلاص في book شغال بالباكجراوند. هذا نويز يا ابني. هذا نويز يعني كثير من ما قبيله بيقولوا لك إنه I listen to this book while doing something else. أوي.
You can't multi-purpose هيك.
It does not work like that. قاعد عم تشتغل جايب بلانت وعم تبني ايكيا هاوس ومش عارف شو وفي نويز شغال بالباك جراوند ما استفدت شيء. بدك تقعد تحط الهيدفونز تاعولك او تقرب السماعه من دانك وتقعد تسمع بالضبط every word وما تسرح بخيالك. It's not a novel. You're there to actually absorb knowledge. The best way to read a book is انك تحط رايك الشخصي على جنب.
100%.
مش تقعد الكاتب عم بيقول لك او whoever is educating you عم بيقول لك نقطه معينه وانت بينك وبين حالك والله لا اعتقد this conversation is wrong based on ايش في لا shut up, listen, absorb, and then towards the end take it or leave it. You distract yourself, you distract the point of the writer. خلص انت قررت تقرا هذا الكتاب او تسمع هذا الكتاب. Download as much as possible of it in your brain and then decide and have the argument.
Good advice. Well, our last question, Hassan, is what is it that Hassan wishes to accomplish one day in the future? And you could start the sentence with one day I would like to, or one day I wish I could.
One day I wish I could continue doing what I'm doing currently, which is have fun and make a living.
حلوة. That's
simple as that.
That's powerful.
You're talking to a person who literally worked less than 30 days of his life. And I've been making a living for 20 plus years doing what I love, and I don't call it that a job.
حلو man.
I'm making money out of the things that I love. I worked for 30 days. My boss, who happens to be my college friend, gave me my check and I gave him my resignation. I cannot do this. I'm not an employee. I need to do something that I'm passionate about. I need to wake up in the morning and go like, yes, I'm going to see the microphone. Yes, I'm going to see the computer. Yes, I'm going to program. Yes, I'm going to XYZ, whatever it is. Then honestly speaking, life is too freaking short for me to wake up in the morning and hate what I'm doing. فأنا for me, يا رب يا رب يا رب يكمل نعمته علي إنه for me to continue doing what I love and making a decent living for me and my family out of it.
Incredible answer, Hassan. Thank you so much for your time and for the wisdom that you brought in today. Where can people follow you or get in touch with you, Hassan, on social media?
Hassan Sheikh everywhere.
Hassan Sheikh everywhere.
And I'm a very, very anti-social media. So technically speaking, the best response you'll get, the fastest response you'll get from me is email. info@hassansheikh.com. I'm still working on my website, being a technology guy. So inshallah, one day. like باب النجار مخلع. One day my website يعني I helped in building half of the websites of Dubai. And no joke, man, no joke.
Yeah.
And I don't have a website for myself.
It's always like that.
خلاص يعني you know the things. If it is a client, listen bro, I can get your website omaralmajali.com up and running in 24 hours and it'll kick butt international.
I know you
but
mean
for
that.
my own website, no.
It's always like that. It's always like that. فinfo at hassansheikh.com.
Correct. Yeah.
Great.
Or social media, but you have to be
Hassan
patient with social media because I don't check it regularly. Yeah, and I'd like to come and add a point. يعني إنه everything I'm saying here is not factual. This is purely an opinion of a person that does not know anything in life. I'm telling you, what I'm saying is wrong, 100% wrong. But it's just an opinion from a person who sees life in a different way. And this applies on me. This applies on my journey.
Yeah.
If you agree or disagree, على عيني وراسي من فوق. If you have some facts that can help me change my perspective towards something else, or look at any point that we talked about or gonna talk about بطريقة that will open my eyes, I would highly appreciate it. يعني thankfully, but say it in a nice way, please. If you can contact me on social media and go like, Hassan, we heard you on Omar Almajali's podcast, and like for this point, if you check out this resource and this resource, you might change your opinion. I would highly appreciate it if you can add to my knowledge.
I hope you enjoyed this episode and that you were able to pick up a thing or two that could help you in business or life. If you would like to hear more conversations like these and you're not yet a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe through your preferred podcast platform. And follow us on Instagram at oneday.thepodcast. And you could reach me on my personal Instagram account at @almajali. And last but not least, if you prefer to watch the full episode on video, then you can do so on our YouTube channel, One Day the Podcast. Till next time.